Hey everybody, welcome back. So in my previous videos, I always mentioned that Express and Nord are two of the best VPNs out there, and a lot of you guys wanted to know which of these two VPNs is the better option for you. And so that's what we're going to be covering today, because I'll dive into what these two VPNs have to offer, be it privacy policies, speed, streaming and torrenting capabilities, as well as security and features. And so by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of which one works best for you and your situation. So if you just want to skip ahead to learn more about these VPNs, maybe details or pricing, you can find links to in-depth reviews as well as pricing and discounts in the description down below. Now, to kick this comparison off, let's take a closer look at both of these VPNs' privacy policies, because that's the main reason anyone uses a VPN, to have more privacy online. So both Express and Nord have been audited by trusted and independent firms to show the public whether or not they're adhering to their policy promises. Express was audited by KPMG, Cure 53, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, while Nord was audited by Deloitte, Versprite, and PricewaterhouseCoopers as well. And as expected of these two, the results of these audits came back in great standing, which means that they do uphold their policies and they never log, store, or share your data. That being said, one difference is that Express had its no logs policy tested in like a real life test back in 2017. So the Turkish government had seized one of Express's servers as part of an investigation, but they found nothing on this server. And one of the reasons for that is that Express uses RAM-only servers, which basically means that no storage drives are connected to the servers in any way. Now, Nord also uses RAM-only servers, but I still think that Express is just a little bit safer and more secure, because it's one thing to have your no logs policy tested in an audit, and it's on a whole nother level to have it tested in a real government surveillance situation. So as far as security goes, both of these VPNs are really secure and your data is in safe hands. But personally speaking, I would prefer you go with ExpressVPN if you're like a super privacy conscious individual, because of that real life example of upholding its policies. Now, another main thing to consider when looking into which VPN to get is speed and performance. Of course, it's normal for speed drops to happen when using a VPN because of the time it takes to encrypt your data before it reaches the internet. And speed drops between 10 and 20% are considered excellent, and even up to 40%, yes, I know, is still considered really good, but you never want to go above 40%, obviously, because what would be the point of that? So while testing both Express and Nord, I didn't see any speed drops outside of the 10 to 25% range, except for this one time when I was trying to connect to a really far away server, and even then the speed drop was at 25%. So that being said, out of the two, Nord is faster, especially when I'm using the NordLynx protocol, which is considered the fastest in the industry. So with NordLynx, I noticed several times that my speed drops went as low as 8%, which is the fastest I've seen a VPN perform out of all the VPNs that I've ever tested so far. And so as far as speed goes, Nord is arguably the fastest VPN in the industry, technically speaking, and ExpressVPN is closely behind it. All right, now let's talk about what most of you are probably here for, and that's streaming. So if you're like me and you like to experience what other countries have to offer from their local libraries, Express and Nord are great options here. So again, after testing quite a lot of VPNs and how well that they can access different libraries, be it Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max, etc., these two VPNs alongside Surfshark were the only consistent options. And this is not just a product of luck, because most streaming services out there these days have put up firewalls that can prevent encrypted VPN traffic from accessing their websites, which made most VPNs totally useless here. But this does not apply to Express and Nord, since all of their servers are obfuscated anyway, meaning that these servers are capable of making your encrypted traffic look completely normal, and they can easily get you past those firewalls. Nord also has a slight advantage here, actually, because it has servers in 111 countries as opposed to ExpressVPN, which has 105 countries. Not that much difference, but you can access content from like 6 more countries with Nord. But other than that, both options are fantastic when it comes to streaming. Moving on to features, both Nord and Express also offer the same essential and base VPN features like lightning fast encryption protocols in the form of NordLynx and Lightweight UDP for Express. They have a kill switch as well as split tunneling. A kill switch, by the way, just in case you didn't know, it'll turn off your internet just in case your VPN ever disconnects. And this makes sure that you're always connected to your VPN while online. Therefore, your data will always be safe. And just to note here, while both Express and Nord have the kill switch feature, Nord takes it even a step further by offering an app-specific kill switch that'll turn off access to that app rather than your whole internet. So that's kind of handy. Like, for example, say you're using your VPN while you're torrenting and the ExpressVPN disconnects while using Nord. So instead of cutting your whole internet off, which might interrupt your work or something, only the torrenting app's access to the internet will be cut off. So it's a big boost when it comes to security. As far as split tunneling goes, both Express and Nord have this feature, which allows you to select which applications can go through the VPN tunnel and which applications don't use the VPN. So that said, I wouldn't exactly call it an essential feature, but once you give it a shot, you might see how handy it is. Like, say you want to protect your torrenting app with the VPN connection, but you don't want it to change your Netflix library to that of the VPN server. You can just simply select the only torrenting app to go through the VPN tunnel while everything else uses your normal connection. Another feature these two VPNs have in common is threat protection, which is also called Threat Manager, actually, if you're using Express. But this feature blocks ads, trackers, and malware-ridden websites. I find Nord's threat protection to be more fleshed out and sort of more of a mini antivirus, because it also monitors your downloaded files and prevents any corrupted and malware-ridden folders from finding their way to your PC. But otherwise, both of these VPNs have just added new identity theft protection features, including financial fraud protection. And they also have dark web monitoring and identity restoration coverage for up to $1 million. One thing to note here is that this feature is only available in the US as of this moment, but they have specific plans. So if you want to know more about this, you can check out the links in the description down below. Okay, so as far as features go, this is where the commonalities end, since ExpressVPN likes to keep their app simple. So they exclude some of the options that not many intermediate or beginner users are interested or knowledgeable in. And that being said, in case you're interested in a bit more of granular control over your VPN, NordVPN might be the better option here. For example, Nord has a lot of different specialty servers for specific activities. Now, all of Nord's servers can be used for pretty much any activity, just like Express, but specialty servers are the if all else fails, these will do the trick. Like, for example, you'll get peer-to-peer servers for torrenting, onion over VPN servers, as well as double VPN servers that will connect to servers for double the encryption. You can also get a dedicated IP server, but you're going to have to get this as an add-on. Anyway, besides specialty servers, there's also MeshNet, which allows you to transfer your files securely over the encrypted network of Nord. And you can also use this feature to play games on a LAN network with your friends. Other than that, you also get the app kill switch, the ability to customize your DNS, as well as this big map that shows you Nord servers in real time. So as far as features go, both of these VPNs have all the essentials as well as some neat bonuses. But if you want to get the most features out of your VPN, then Nord is definitely the better option here. Okay, so last but not least, we have ease of use and UI. So both of these VPNs, I would say, are easy to use. And with time, you can get used to the extra options and setting that Nord offers. That being said, I've found ExpressVPN to be a lot more intuitive and easier to use. Like, just to give you an idea of how it feels to use Express, it kind of feels like using an Apple product. Like, it's responsive, it launches instantly and connects to VPN servers in 1 or 2 seconds, which means it kind of feels like it's part of your computer and not a third-party application. Like, there's this big button in the middle of the home screen that you can press automatically to connect to a server. And if you want to manually choose a server, all you need to do is click these 3 buttons here and type in the name of your server. Like, it just feels so intuitive and straightforward. Nord, on the other hand, takes some time to launch. Like, there's some instances where I've had to wait about 15 to 20 seconds for it to establish a connection. I mean, this is still not bad at all, and most VPNs average at this speed. It's just Express that's so much faster and responsive, which kind of puts it in a league of its own. So as far as UI goes, it's all up to personal preference, really. I mean, I like Express's more because it's very minimal and it's a small window, but I could make the argument that people would like Nord more because it has the map, which I find also very cool. So honestly, it's all up to you at the end of the day. So with all that being said, which one do I recommend? I mean, again, it depends on what you're looking for in a VPN. I would say go for ExpressVPN if you want to have the highest level of security, or if you want the fastest, most responsive VPN out there. Again, it feels very intuitive, and it's honestly my personal go-to for pretty much anything. In case you want the fastest VPN out there that has more features, more countries, and the granular control over your settings, as well as that interactive map that shows you where all the servers are, I say go for NordVPN. And in case you want to give them a shot before you commit to a subscription, both of these VPNs have free trials that you can get from downloading their mobile apps, as well as a 30-day money-back guarantee that you can claim back by contacting their 24/7 live chat support. So I hope that information helped point you in the right direction and helped you make a decision in the end. But thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the links in the description to grab yourself the best discounts possible, and check out the full reviews as well if you want to know more about these VPNs. Other than that, like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything cybersecurity you'd like me to cover. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.